Euphrates River is a major international waterway that divides Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. For over 10,000 years, this river has provided the majority of the region's water, but it has recently begun to dry up due to the terrifyingly bizarre conditions that have brought about the drought. However, the drying up of the Euphrates is not unexpected because it was foretold in a horrific prophecy that appears to be coming to a head. Scientists have made a horrifying discovery in the Euphrates River. As a result of what was found beneath the riverbed once it had dried, the entire globe was rocked. In this video, we will talk about a terrifying discovery that showed up as the Euphrates dried out. Before starting, go and subscribe to this channel for more amazing videos. An incredibly important river in human history. Because of its role in making the Mesopotamia region fruitful, the Euphrates River has played a crucial role in human history. Agriculture was first developed in this part of the world. For humans, the Euphrates River provided a plentiful supply of potable water, and the river's waters were also put to use in the agricultural and industrial sectors. Eventually, other countries of the world followed Mesopotamia's lead and began cultivating crops. Both the Tigris and the Euphrates are known as the Twin Rivers, and the Euphrates is the first river mentioned by the Bible, since it is one of the 4 rivers which flowed out of the Garden of Eden. The region of Mesopotamia along the Euphrates was home to numerous ancient civilizations, including the Babylonians, Sumerians, and Akkadians, all of which relied heavily on the river's water supply. The Taurus Mountains are the source of the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, which run through Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, before finally meeting the Persian Gulf. However, there has been a considerable decrease in water levels along the whole course of this historic river due to the river's drying up. In most areas, the river has dried up entirely, exposing the riverbed. The extreme drought brought on by the drying of the river has turned a once rich area into a desert. As a result, the economies of farmers, villages, and fishermen who relied on the river's waters now reside in the dumps. The mystery is what causes a river to suddenly stop flowing. How will this affect the lives of people who rely on the Euphrates River for their daily needs? There are a variety of unexplainable objects discovered beneath the riverbed, leading many to assume that something supernatural and from the Bible dried up the river. A number of human actions are suspected of having hastened the river's demise. The treaty signed among Turkey, Iraq, and Syria. Because of its importance as a source of agricultural water, the economies of Turkey, Iraq, and Syria all rely on the Euphrates River. As it flows out of the mountains in eastern Turkey, the Turkish government controls much of the river and has built numerous hydroelectric power stations along its length. Turkey, Syria, and Iraq continue to dispute over who gets to use the water from the Euphrates. Nearly a century ago, the 3 countries signed a convention outlining how they would share the river's resources for the greater good. However, tensions have flared up again because of divergent uses for the river's water. The Syrian and Iraqi governments claim that Turkey has increased its control over the Euphrates River, but is also letting far less of the water flow downstream to them. This is why the countries signed yet another treaty in 1946. Turkey's tobacco dam just on the river substantially limited water, causing a severe drought in Iraq in the 1970s. The Iraqi government warned Turkey that they would bomb the tobacco dam if they didn't release the water for Iraq. Although the countries involved signed another agreement, the reality is that Syria or Turkey have constructed more dams just on the Euphrates than Iraq has, resulting in less water for Iraq. Damage caused by the Euphrates River's severe lack of water has hit Iraq hard. Turkey began restricting the flow of the Euphrates River into Syria in April 2014, and by May of that year, the river's flow had been nearly halted altogether. Turkey's action here constitutes a flagrant breach of the agreement reached between the 3 nations. After that, for whatever reason, the river's water level began steadily dropping in all 3 of these countries, which has had terrible consequences. Euphrates drought and its consequences. There are millions of individuals who have been affected by the drought, but the repercussions are more pronounced in Iraq and Syria. Around 200,000 people have been uprooted from more than 400 communities on the other side of the Euphrates. The riverbed is now exposed across most of Iraq and Syria. Despite the water level in the river has dropped significantly, the river still runs in some places. The water entering Turkey and Syria contains dissolved fertilizers used on crops, for the water is still polluted and poisoned. By discharging these poisonous chemicals into the Euphrates River, the salinity of the river's water is raised, rendering it undrinkable. Due to the Euphrates River drying up, Iraq now has a number of lakes and ponds, but as the country also has the highest average temperatures, these bodies of water dry up for the vast majority of the year. The complete loss of water from these places has been made easier by increased evaporation, leading to annual temperature increases and the severe effects of global warming. Recent studies on drought in Turkey, Syria, and Iraq indicate that Turkey has an annual evaporation rate of 2 cubic kilometers. Syria has an annual evaporation rate of 1 cubic kilometers, and Iraq has an annual evaporation rate of 5 cubic kilometers. All of this points to a severe drought in Iraq, which has caused the soil to become salty and barren, and has prompted a mass exodus of people across the Euphrates. Authentic biblical prophecy regarding the Euphrates River? Many people believe the drying up of the Euphrates River is a fulfillment of biblical prophecies, even though the drought that followed along the river's path has been blamed on dam construction and removal. Among the rivers described in the Bible is the Euphrates, which played a significant role as the first river to flow from the Garden of Eden and provided vital resources to the Israeli army. The Bible foretells a dreadful event that will occur on the Euphrates River. The sixth angel emptied his vial into the Euphrates River in Revelation 612, opening the way for the Eastern ruler. There are striking parallels between this biblical passage and current events along the Euphrates. All of the water has evaporated, and it has done so at a rate that is unprecedented in recorded history. The sixth angel will force the Euphrates River to dry up again immediately prior to the end of the world, as prophesied in the Bible. In addition, it foretells the arrival of something far more dreadful from the parched soil beneath the Euphrates riverbed. As stated in Revelation 10:13, 15:15, the sixth angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from 4 horns of the golden altar that is before God. According to it, the sixth angel with the trumpet sets free the 4 archangels who had been imprisoned by the huge river Euphrates, and they used the opportunity presented by this day, month, and year to wipe out 1/3 of humanity. Non-Christians may view this Bible passage as a religious footnote, since it claims that 4 fallen angels were imprisoned under the Euphrates River, and that, as the river began to dry up at the end times, an angel of God would release them to wreak havoc on earth during the apocalypse days. The river is actually receding, and unexpected finds have been made by scientists on the riverbank. People have also heard unexplainable noises emanating from the riverbank and located many mysterious caves. If this is true, then the end of the world must be close as per the Bible. This was all about today's video. Isn't this all getting a bit weird, don't you think? Let us know in the comments section what is your belief on this.